Good morning. It is 9:46 a.m. on a Saturday in the Pacific Northwest. I have been living in my car for the past 3 months now, and I am doing so I'm doing so by choice to get close to a story that's very important to me. I've been working with the homeless through Anarchy Empowered field operations ministries since 2001. I really got involved during Katrina in the aftermath, and I started noticing recently that people that I've known for years are missing. But the problem is, transients don't end up on missing persons posters. They don't normally get missed by people of consequence that would actually have the influence to look for them. This makes them a prime target for human traffickers. Now, when we talk about human trafficking, generally people are talking about prostitution, and maybe forced labor. But it goes much deeper than that. The reality is that if you are working a minimum wage job, clocking in, just trying to pay your rent, by definition, you qualify to fit into the category of debt bondage, where you are forced to go to work because you have no other choice in order to keep a roof over your head. Now, a lot of people don't want to look at it that way. But our economy forces up the cost of living intentionally to put people onto the time clock to help industry keep their workforce. And this is just the reality. When we're talking about migrant workers, they come in under a shadow of darkness, through whatever means necessary, and they usually use brokers that immigration less than politely refers to as coyotes. These coyotes will line them up with a job and even housing, but they have absolute control over the income of this person until a specific debt is paid off. And in many cases, that debt is never paid off. Where they just keep adding more debt. And the person that they were supposedly helping is trapped in this debt bondage to essentially work free labor for farms, landscape companies, construction companies, and so on. Then we have the mule. Usually women, young women, desperate for a better life in the so-called land of promise, the land of opportunity, where the streets are supposedly paved with gold. What ends up happening is these women use their bodies to transport drugs across borders. So much can go wrong in this process, and many of them just end up dead. A young woman, I'm going to call her Shelley because she wishes to remain anonymous, was willing to talk to me off the record, so I'm paraphrasing. She was hitchhiking down the I-5 corridor, bound for California. She gets into a sleeper cab, and the curtain was drawn back, but not enough for her not to realize that there's people back there. There's this woman in stirrups and a man is inserting a condom full of crystal meth into her vagina. The condom ruptures. The woman starts convulsing and screaming, and then is lifeless. Out of fear, Shelley sees the nearest person that she can find on the street and rolls down the window and calls out to him. A random name. Because she has no idea who this person is. She goes into her driver. That's my boyfriend. Can you please just let me out? This is where I need to be. And he let her out. She runs up to him and starts yelling, "Mike," and wraps her arms around him and gives him a big kiss and whispers in his ear, "Just pretend like you know me." He sees that she's scared, and she explains the situation later to him. They end up going to the police, and that was the last that Shelley knew of a situation. In recent months, a gray and black Hyundai Tucson, about 2014, has been seen in impoverished areas, and everywhere that it's been seen, a transient, usually female, is reported to be missing. These rumors prompted me to start investigating, and that's why I'm out here. That's why I'm sitting in my driver's seat in the early morning hours, making an introduction to a series of hopefully interviews, because the reality is these people are scared. The homeless don't want to talk to the police. They don't trust the police. In Vancouver, if you're homeless and you talk to the police, you end up in jail just because you're homeless. They don't want to talk to me most of the time. I pay them for my information. And I pay them in food. I pay them in money if I have it at the time. Or I'll just rent them a room for the night. They're starting to trust me, and I'm hoping that sooner or later I will be able to actually get video footage of somebody agreeing to an interview. But most of this is going to be audio, and this is why. So I set up the stage for the next dozen videos or so. And I'm really hoping that this project brings awareness to a growing epidemic in Vancouver, Portland metro area, and even the rest of the country. It's an international problem, but I can only work in my little corner of the world. Please subscribe. Okay, I'm here at Orchards Park, and I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted to show you how I pick information. The problem is right now there is a wedding reception going on in the covered area of the park, and there's kids running around everywhere. Meaning the transients that would normally be here are not going to be here. They are going to find any other place to hang out and share food, which is disappointing. There are a couple of other places that I know of that they might, but honestly, I'm better off waiting till tomorrow and going to the church and eating with them at the soup kitchen. If I did it this way and made the food, cooked the food right in front of them, and offered them the food, it builds trust a little bit easier for them. And it's a lot easier for them to talk to me while they know that I'm literally living in the same boat. This is my car. This is my house right now. And while I have a way out, while my rent is paid for the next 6 months, I'm not going to abandon this project simply because it gets too cold. These guys are out here every day, every night, be it storm, snow, blizzard. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. They don't have a choice. So I'm out here along with them so I can better illustrate what kinds of things create the desperation that makes them a prime target for human trafficking. I am not any better than them. Neither are you. We just had better choices. We had opportunities that may have been presented because of the choices that we made that they haven't had. Anyway, guys, I think today is probably going to be a scrub because I still have to go to work tonight. And I'm not going to waste my energy when I should be sleeping to go everywhere and try to find a group of people that don't want to be found. So I'm going to do this again tomorrow. I'm going to allow you to see and listen in on the conversations. I should have been documenting like this all along. I have to give props to the people at Zello, or on Zello's politics channel, for suggesting that I do. It just never crossed my mind. I should have been documenting with video the interviews and stuff instead of just writing in a journal. But at the same time, I'm not really too sure how receptive the people that I'm trying to work with would be if I had a camera in their face 24/7. All right.